so that's a beta or alpha testing one thing. I did want to alpha test something else that I care about more, which is the class GPT. So I'll do that for maybe 10 minutes and then wrap up the session. And the way in which I'm going to do that is I'm going to get into problem set 2 as a test student, and I'll pretend I'm working on a question as a struggling student, and I will ask ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, well, it is ChatGPT, but our version of ChatGPT, which has been given some additional information, and I will ask it additional questions. And I'm gonna do the most common model, which should be this. The thinking mode should be better, but I think this is the So maybe I should show this. I think I don't mind showing this, what the setup for that looks like. So it's got, stuff. And some of the stuff it has is, it's got system instructions. I will be updating this in about a week and a half, about a week actually, to add Physics 4B content. But I don't think I'll be adding any Physics 4A content at that time, but I will let you know that I've updated the system instructions, just in case it changes some behavior here. And it's got access to our syllabus, lecture summaries, which you don't have access to, but if you want it, write to me. I'll give it to you with some caveats. It's really summaries meant for another instructor. It doesn't quite contain enough details for students to learn from. And I do need to add the Physics 4B summaries. It's got lecture summaries through, I think, lecture 9. So, and I'll be adding the energy and momentum lectures later on. So as I do those updates, I'll let you know. So this custom GPT has access to all that. So that's what I want to test, to see how well it can answer certain questions, and also how if it does anything weird, if it does anything that I don't want it to do, or anything that's not helpful to you, then I do want to make sure that that's queued to be fixed in the next update. So I'm gonna ask you one of the projectile motion questions. So I guess this is I think a good one, and I think it's not one of the questions that I've spotted the issue with earlier. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this. And when I used to do a different way of using this virtual class session with using ChatGPT as a virtual tutor, I used to demonstrate how if you gave it the entire question, it'll just answer it for you, and it doesn't really help you learn. You have to give it some initial prompt to say, hey, I'm here trying to learn. Can you help me learn by not giving me all the answers right away? One of the reasons I created this GPT is that those prompts are part of its system instruction. So if you simply paste it in a question, it shouldn't give you all the answers right away. It should kind of ask you, where are you stuck? It might give you some initial set of information on, this looks like this. It's all right, never mind. Is it gave you the formula? Or no, actually, but because it says it's not asking for the range yet, that it's asking that. Express what we know at theta equals 45. Okay, good. It's a relation. So yeah, I didn't want it to do that. But let's see how it copes. So I've gotta strengthen its system instruction so that it doesn't do that on the first response. But let's say I'm not even responding to that. I'm just doing this. Yeah, that's a good guess. I could get that number. Oh yeah. So let me give it my usual prompt, and then I'll just do one more question properly. Thank you for the answers, but I am trying to learn as I'm working through these. homework questions because I'm really trying to prepare for the upcoming one-on-one meeting with my instructor, and I won't be able to ask you these questions during the meeting. Can you please help me learn by not giving me all the answers right away? Ask me what I've tried so far and just help me with the next step that I'm stuck on. You should acknowledge, hopefully. Let me find another projectile motion question. Or, this is actually a good question, I think. So let me do this one. Let me do it this way. I copy image, and then delete the image from the thing here. Because, the whole thing won't copy and paste. The screenshot won't work right in one shot. So image is there. And then, don't think this is one of the questions I programmed in, is it? Maybe, not sure. I'm really lost with the projectile motion. I'm not sure where to start. And let's see if it gives me the entire thing right away, or gives me first a couple steps. I'll give it an attempt, make some mistakes as I'm doing that, and then let's see it help me work through those mistakes. Okay, so this is part of my alpha testing. So it does have a system instruction about what's called a standard strategy. It's a force strategy. It's not a kinematics strategy. It's mixing these up. So let me just take a screenshot of this as a kind of reminder to myself. I gotta. This is a test case where it's having issues, and I need to fix it. So, the screenshot is saved somewhere, so it's fine. I mean, this is right. It's really a bad fit. But I can start with the velocity into components. Sure, I think that actually works a little bit. So let me see here. And I think here it's not highlighter. The geometry is simple enough that I think making mistake here would be a little bit unrealistic. Is equal to not adjacent, so cosine, but you might be thinking, oh, x components, so cosine. It's not what I recommend, but here it gives you the correct answer, so that's fine. So you got the x and y components. And am I given the velocity? Oh, Oh, yeah. I ain't given the velocity, yeah. Okay. I got the velocity component. I think I can plug in numbers later. What do I do with these? And then you should walk me through the projectile motion problem solving, which is I should find the time first. And the question actually asks. It's trying to be helpful. So yeah, you should do that first. So let me imagine doing this, and let me just demonstrate this as a potential usefulness of ChatGPT. And if you just want the correct answer, as long as you got one of the questions that I've already done as homework help, you can watch the video and get the correct answer. What generative AI is helpful for is it can actually respond to you. So let's say you're trying to do this, but you made a mistake. So you're trying to do so set up the equation using this. It'll look like this. So let's say you are trying to do that, follow that, and you wrote down 100 is equal to, and let's say here you made a mistake. You didn't use the y component, you accidentally used the x component. So you wrote down 12.8 meters per second, and we'll just be sloppy with the units because I guess we are being sloppy with the units here. Cosine of 30 degrees times time. I'll have to solve for time, I guess. Plus 4.9 t squared, and then I can actually use Wolfram alpha to solve for time, just to save a little bit of time. So solve for t in 100 is equal to 12.8 times cosine of 30 degrees times t, because I don't want to use quadratic formula. It takes time. This is quicker. So let's say you did all this, you got the positive time, and you plug that in, and it says that's wrong, because that's wrong. And after getting that wrong answer, you ask so let's say this screen might be too busy for ChatGPT to correctly figure out, but let's ask. I tried that and used Wolfram alpha to solve the resulting quadratic equation, but the system says the answer is wrong. And if you are in my in-person office hour, you show me this, I'll look at your work and figure out, oh, this should have been signed. Like, it's the kind of mistakes like this, for someone who's experienced, not that hard to spot, but until you get that experience, it can be harder to spot and frustrating. And this is where I think when it works, generative AI can be really useful. Now, this screenshot is a little bit too busy, so it might not figure out that I used the wrong trig function. If it doesn't, then I can just paste this in and see if it'll be able to tell me that I used the wrong trig function. And after we are done with this, we'll wrap up the session. Component correct. Accidentally. Yeah. This is what I mean. It's great. This interactive ability this is where I think it can really work as a virtual tutor. Sometimes it might still give you too much information, but on your end you can kind of watch out for that. Don't mistake ChatGPT's understanding for yours. Try things for yourself. So let me fix that and at least get that answer correct, and then I think that's actually I would like people to be a little bit more careful with the signs, but it's fine. Because they're all negative downward, like making them all positive also technically works out. Let's see, can I get, all right, 3.99. Oops, 911, right? That was, I think, what? Oops. 3.9. Yeah. Okay. So let's just get the correct answer. Yeah. So that's correct. So I'll say, okay, I got the. Thank you. I got the correct time. I'll have to come back for the rest later. I gotta run. So, yeah. So that's the demo.